Have you been on diets your whole life and know very well this is not something you want to continue doing, but you have a lot of fear around what's going to happen if you stop dieting? You're absolutely in the right place. After 20 plus years of cycling over every single diet there ever was, I'm finally here to tell you what happened to my body, my life after I stopped dieting, and here's a hint. It's a very positive ending, so you'll want to stay through to the end. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why you should give up dieting and the exact process that I went through in order to make this a reality for myself and the clients that I have the pleasure of working with worldwide. One of my beautiful clients recently shared, calorie counting and binge eating ruled my life for over 15 years. In less than 3 months, I've stopped dieting, calorie counting, I no longer binge, and I'm not even worrying about my weight. This program has helped me to go after my dreams, to take voice lessons, writing my first novel before the age of 30, and now I'm even on to my third. I'm so much less hung up on society's expectations for beauty and success. I sleep better on a regular basis and eat in a normal way like I've always wanted to without freaking out about gaining weight. This is honestly the best money I've ever spent. There's so much I wish I learned when I was younger, and if you do join, you'll be shocked at how lucky you are to be a part of it. This is the work that I've dedicated my life to and that I love so much. If you want to break free of dieting, you want to have food freedom, and you want to heal your relationship with your body so you can just live your life the way you truly deserve, there's a link below to connect with me directly. And now let's get into the video. Let me first start by acknowledging what happened to my body while I was dieting. I started dieting when I was probably 13 years old, and I struggled with eating disorders, anorexia. I later went on to struggle with binge eating. Restricting calories was a part of my life since a very early age, and I saw this modeled to me obviously out in the world, but by people that were very close to me. And so I really learned to believe that if I were in a thinner body, I would be more valuable and I would be more happy and I would, find the perfect partner and the perfect house and the perfect job, and the story goes on, If I lose weight, then ... How many of you have that same story? So I spent 20 plus years of my life constantly dieting, trying every single diet. There was Atkins, South Beach, oh my gosh, like you name the type of diet, I tried it. Keto, blah, 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 blah. And so the message of this story was that I really hit a rock bottom with this dieting on a few occasions. I really learned the cost of what dieting does to your quality of life. I arrived in this dream body of mine that I was sold from diet culture that I was going to get, and I didn't feel more confident. In fact, I felt full of anxiety, full of depression. I had all this fear of, am I going to lose this body? How many calories are in this? I remember distinctly being at Coachella Music Festival on my 30th birthday, and it was this big goal of mine to look a certain way, to wear these outfits, and to go to this music festival. And then I was there and I couldn't even drink my vodka soda because I was so paranoid of how many calories I'd have to burn off at the gym the next morning. I couldn't be present with my best friend because I was so haunted by all these stories about my body, and I didn't even feel confident in my body. The thing that I had worked so hard to achieve didn't give me any sense of confidence at all. And my relationship with food just really controlled every single aspect of my life. I didn't feel comfortable to go on a vacation with my family, said no to trips to places like New Zealand because I was afraid there wasn't going to be a way for me to control food. And not only was my quality of life deteriorating and my mental health, but so was my body. My body hit a rock bottom where I actually started quickly gaining weight as opposed to losing weight from all this dieting. And this really confused me because diet culture said if I diet and I restrict my calories, there's no way I can gain weight. Well, that's completely wrong. So my body, all the functions of my body started to become compromised. I experienced things like really high stress and anxiety. I couldn't fall asleep at night. I had chronic insomnia. No matter what I did, no matter what kinds of sleeping pills I took, my body would lay awake at night and I would just try to cry myself to sleep. My body put on about 20 to 30 pounds in just a few months, and I didn't change anything about my food intake or my exercise. In fact, I actually tried to hire different professionals, nutritionists and people like personal trainers, to try and craft me the perfect diet plan to lose the weight that I was gaining for no apparent reason. And I was freaking out. I felt so unworthy and so disgusted with myself, and I didn't know what to do. And I watched basically every function in my body just start to whittle away. I later learned that I had so many different hormonal imbalances, all these different issues, nervous system dysregulation, weight resistance, PCOS, inflammation, like hypothyroidism, you name it. I had all these different things, and How did that occur? Well, it was because I was chronically putting my body through so much stress with restriction and dieting, and I wasn't feeding my body enough, and this is what happens. So I really realized once I hit that rock bottom that I needed to change my tune, that all this dieting never gave me anything in my life. It actually took it all away, and I just decided, okay, I'm going to not do this anymore. I actually learned that I had to rebel against it in order to break free and find the life that I truly knew I deserved. And in doing so, I broke free of diet culture. And so I'm going to share with you now what happened when I broke free. So I broke free from diet culture. I removed all restriction in my life, any rules I had around food, and I told myself I'm going to eat whatever I want, when I want. I'm not going to have any rules. I'm not going to do intermittent fasting. I am going to take away all rules and restriction and just allow myself to learn how to eat normally. I really uncovered all these fear-based beliefs that I had around food, like if I don't do this, I'm going to gain weight, this food is bad, this food is good. I really learned how to address and really reprogram my mind around those beliefs that were controlling me, because I knew that was necessary for me to even move forward. So I dedicated a lot of work to actually reprogram those beliefs. I really felt uncomfortable in my body. I had gained all this weight and I felt so ashamed. So I spent some time, like really dedicated time, to clearing all that shame and all this learning that we get through diet culture and our unrealistic beauty standards that just teach us that we're not worthy if we're in a bigger body. I just kind of decided, like, hey, if this is the body I'm gonna have for the rest of my life, like, am I just gonna sit inside and be depressed and tell myself I can't go out and have fun and date? No, that's no way to live. I tried that and it's very depressing. So I actually just started encouraging myself to find ways to bring joy into my life. Instead of hiding at home and feeling miserable and not putting myself out there on dates and being afraid of people running into me in the street and thinking, oh my God, she's gained weight. I was like, F it, I'm just gonna go out, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna find clothes that feel good on my body, I'm gonna find outfits that I feel confident in, or at least can practice feeling confident in. And I started slowly doing that. I started slowly getting my life back, and the joy that I experienced from all of those different experiences really started to bring joy into my life, and I started to feel confident for who I was instead of attaching my worth to my body, which I think was truly the biggest gift of all. I learned how to feel peaceful in front of food for the first time in my life, where I didn't have guilt or anxiety if I ate something that I otherwise had deemed as bad, like pizza or pasta. I started to really just be myself and feel so good. And I remember taking photos of myself, like in a bathing suit, because I felt proud, like in this bigger body. And that was such a milestone for me, because it really showed that I had broken through so much of the stuff that had controlled me my whole life. And it didn't stop there. With this true sense of confidence and self-worth, I really shed all this stress and inflammation that I'd been carrying my whole life. Like my nervous system started to regulate, my hormones started to balance. I developed a very newfound relationship with exercise, where I stopped exercising in the way that society told me I had to lose weight. I actually started moving my body in a way that felt really genuinely good for me. I realized I hated cardio. I hated doing sprinting and HIIT training. I just started walking, and I started listening to podcasts that made me feel good on those walks. And I just started there. And then I started trying dance and Pilates and things that I had put on hold, because in the past I would have said, this isn't real exercise. And I just started really listening to myself and developing a really beautiful relationship with myself. And it was so healing. And from this place of worthiness and true self-respect and self-compassion, because I had so much compassion for myself for all the struggling that I had gone through, I really manifested the life I've always wanted, because it didn't come from this place of like, I have to have an ideal body. It was just like, I love and respect myself, so I'm going to start living my life the way I deserve. I ended up clearing all of my financial debt. I ended up quitting my job that I hated and starting my own company, helping women to do exactly this: break free of diet culture, heal their lifelong body image struggles, feel peace and confidence in themselves. I then started to get into much more healthy relationships with men, because in the past they were so toxic and unhealthy because it was coming from this place of unworthiness. I stopped having a shopping addiction because I finally felt worthy in myself, so the spending was under control. I healed a lot of family relationships that were very frayed and damaged for most of my life. I really let go of friendships for me that felt quite toxic, and really just doubled down on the people in my life that I really loved and wanted to nurture those relationships. And in the end, I really found the partner of my dreams, and we got married last year. And that was truly because I finally learned to have love and acceptance for myself as I was. And through all these practices of taking care of myself and actually just canceling out diet culture, my body did actually change. And did that really matter to me? No, because I truly loved and accepted myself as I was. But what I witnessed was when I take care of my body and I nourish my body with the food that it deserves, and I move my body in a way that feels good, my body really transformed and let go of a lot of inflammation and weight and emotional weight that I'd been carrying for a very long time. And ironically, my body is in a more fit state in today's time than when I had dieted and was at my peak fitness level in the past. And that really just teaches me that, I really do believe that from this place of self-love and worthiness, you are in a vibration that's very aligned with positive action for yourself, right? When we hate ourselves and we're punishing ourselves, we think that's somehow going to lead to some long-term sustainable change, but it never does. It just leads to really extreme all or nothing behaviors that are very short-lived and very damaging. But when you truly learn how to love and accept yourself, you become that most important thing that you cherish and want to take such good care of, and you don't want to poison yourself anymore. You just want to do things that align with that vibration, and you in turn manifest a world around you that feels the same. So that is the story. And this is now what I help women to do worldwide, is to really break free of diet culture, have peace with food, and have a relationship with their body that's of peace, love, and confidence so they can fully live their lives. So I hope this was helpful. I just want to send you so much love and tell you that you can get through this. And I know it's really scary. It was probably one of the scariest things I've ever had to go through in my life, but it was really worth it in the end. It was the best gift I could have ever given myself. So if you want to learn more about how to do this, you can book a discovery call with me below. And just sending you so much love, and share this with a friend who could use this. And I'd also love to hear one thing you're taking away from this video.